And WIVG Tunica Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. It's time for Sports Time on Sports 56 with Wolo and Stats. The first hour of Sports Time is brought to Lexus of Memphis, the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin and Brett Stats Norsworthy.
Good Wednesday afternoon to you. We hope you're doing well on Wednesday afternoon, July 7th, 2021. Dave will be back with us on Monday. Long planned week off. Gabe Kuhn co-hosting with me today. I'm Brett. Bryant Dacus producing, and we are Sports Time, and we're with you until 6 o'clock. And last night, not the full vindication yet, Gabe, but the first step in the long 16 years in the NBA. Was it 2 or 3 years at Wake Forest? All that high school basketball. The long vindication of Chris Paul, now 3 games away, and last night, spectacular.
And it looked like he was taking out frustration with what he was doing. 32 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists.
Decent defense.
He was fantastic in shooting the 3-ball like he was last night. 4 for 7 from range. And I don't know when people are going to learn. But every single team, Brett, seems like they try to play that drop coverage with their big and that pick and roll.
And he abuses it.
And he abuses it every single time.
He abuses it. And last night, he really did make a player that when we did our draft Monday afternoon was high on every order in Drew Holiday. He really put it to him last night. So Phoenix goes up 1-0. That fan scene in both cities looked tremendous.
Yes.
Last night in Phoenix there at the ballpark, or at the arena near the ballpark, and we talked about that in the proximity to both. Downtown Phoenix is fantastic. I don't know what it's like in this kind of weather, although I say that, and Eli Savoy as my witness, and I know he's in the building, as am I. One of these rare buildings actually at Flynn Broadcasting for me. We're still not quite in the same room, but we're making up ground. But Eli Savoy and I, we spent 9 days in Phoenix. I bet you the sun didn't shine 4 hours.
What?
I promise you.
What time of year?
Super Bowl week. But we caught that.
That makes a little more sense.
We caught cold and gray in Phoenix. So cold and so gray that we had pretty good tickets to the big golf event. And the celebrated par 3 hole. And we were going to go out there on Saturday between Uber cost and 47 and cold and Tiger missing the cut. I said, Eli, I don't want to go. He said, I don't want to go either. And I had to call the person that squared us up with pretty real good tickets to use these. I said, even in this, but we never saw the prettiest weather is that the nose of the plane was taken off to come back.
Is that
to
your
Memphis.
only time there?
Not the only time.
But that was, okay.
I've been to Phoenix. I've been to Phoenix, Scottsdale. I won't say a lot, but several times, and quite something. But last night, that street scene, the arena inside the building, but in Milwaukee, in one of these sweet days, I hope sooner rather than later, and we know what it's going to be like. Can you imagine that sweet day, Gabe, when Memphis, the eyes of the basketball world, will be on Memphis for an NBA Finals?
Oh,
I mean, downtown will be
Beale Street, shoulder to shoulder, people moving past each other. Bars will be jam-packed. The amount of money that will be moving through that street in downtown will be astronomical.
And the good test case, the good study may be the example of it. And this was just for one really brief shining moment on a Saturday morning game day.
Yep.
That day, where did you watch? Did you get in the middle of game day?
I did not get in the middle of game day. I was at home. I was hanging out. I watched game day though.
I was in Auburn. I was at the hotel in Montgomery with Ole Miss to play Auburn that night, so I got to take it all in. And they'll go out to the site in that early sports center on Saturday morning and give you a taste of it. And, Kirk Herbstreit to do a live hit. And I said, this is really going to be off the chain.
It really was, too.
And then when it went hot, and they do a great job of it when you're out for it, kind of a stage manager, stage director, doing the countdown, and, we're going hot in 10 seconds.
Right.
And it just builds and builds and builds, and kind of that it's not a drone, but it's one of those suspended cameras, and it's going the full breadth of Beale Street. I said, look at that. Look at Memphis showing out. And that's what it's going to be like for 10 days around NBA Finals someday.
Right. It'll be all for the Grizzlies. In that case, in the case of game day, it was sort of how many different fans of SEC teams we also have in this city. And obviously, most of the people are there for the Tigers. We understand that. And the Tigers, we have the growth that has happened around the football program year in, year out has been unbelievable. But I think that was sort of a melting pot effect there for game day. But I know people, once we get into a situation for an NBA Finals game in Memphis, it will be pandemonium.
One of these days, one of these sweet days. Bryant Dacus, did you get in the middle of game day, 3 years ago, fall of 18?
I was there.
What time did you get out there?
What time?
I can't remember. I think I might have gotten there like 4
Ooh.
in the morning. I was there early.
You got a good spot.
I got a really good spot.
Yeah.
It was a really good spot.
Did alarm clock going off, or were you still just rolling in?
No, I slept for a couple hours.
Okay.
I had to because I had to work the game too, so I needed some sleep.
Yeah. Were you doing the games for WMR for the campus station then?
Yes, sir. I was.
Good deal, and quite. So you got a good nap in that afternoon, with the SMU game being later that night.
I did. Yeah, that was the one great thing about it. I went to game day, got home around 11:30. I slept for a couple hours, and then went and got there a couple hours before the game started.
Oh, and what a treat for college football. Food show goes out and people get to experience it. And I know in 2014 in Oxford, and all the stars, literally and figuratively, lined up right with Katy Perry's manager, having been an Ole Miss guy, a great guy, Bradford Cobb. And that day, 2:30 CBS kickoff, and game day from 8 to 11. I got over in that General Grove stage area